a Playlyst original.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast,
where we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question, should I watch this?
My name is Mitu.
And my name is BJ.
And this week, we're watching the listener-requested Ride or Die on Prime Video.
So stay tuned to find out if Mitu has any antique shopping advice.
Ooh, okay.
Thought I'd keep it light.
Until then, why don't you let us know what happened in this buddy action comedy?
Sure. On Ride or Die on Prime Video, two friends have to go on the run from a mysterious enemy, and one of them is secretly a highly trained assassin. This show stars Octavia Spencer as Debbie and Hannah Waddingham as Judith. So, Mitu, what were your first impressions of a show based around friendship?
As you know, thank you for that leading question. I love friendship, especially friendship between women of a certain age, women finding themselves stuck in life and having this friendship challenge that and nurture that. This was made for me. And the casting, they actually were in a studio and they were like, what would Mitu want to watch?
Mm-hmm.
And then they designed toward that.
Well, shout out to the writers and casting team and directors. I also think they did a great job at finding leading actors with good chemistry because I believed their friendship.
Yes, buying the friendship is mission critical because I would say this first episode a little bit dragged. 54 minutes was bananas. At that point, turn it into a 90-minute movie. I don't think that everything was necessary in this pilot, but for the 54 minutes, despite the story kind of dragging, because we kind of get it, after truly the first 15 minutes, the acting, Octavia Spencer and Hannah Waddingham were so charming, so funny, and they clicked so well playing these best friends of Debbie and Judith that you still develop that care and are entertained because of this central relationship.
Yes, you want to follow each of the characters in their lives, and the show is fun. You know, Mitu brings up a good point. It is too long for this pilot. But all the separate moments, seeing Judith as an assassin, seeing Debbie as this person who could probably be member of parliament herself if she was a British citizen, those moments were so exciting. And when they finally end up kind of on a mission together, it's so, you're sucked in. But I think it could have been condensed.
I do like the central theme. So in addition to this friendship, it's that Judith and Debbie, for many reasons, some combination of feeling stuck in life and their gender and their age, they're being underestimated. For Debbie, she's finding a rush where she can, parking her car in a really tiny spot, the competitive storage shopping, listening to murder podcasts and figuring out who done it before the podcasters do. She's highly intelligent. She says that she was editor of the Yale Law Review, but professionally, she's the wife of this member of parliament, despite the fact that she is the engine, really, behind this guy. He is not functioning without her, and he's underestimating her, too, and taking her for granted. And then for Judith, she's bored. She's doing this assassin thing, but taking people's lives is not as exciting as it used to be. And her agency, it appears, is perhaps trying to retire her as a light spoiler. And so she's no longer following protocol where they're asking her to take a shot from really far away. She's doing her killing up close and having it be more exciting for her. And so they're both finding themselves at this point, in addition to being chased by this mysterious person, having to overcome that being underestimated and then that feeling stuck. And I thought that was very compelling. That added good stakes in addition to literally fighting for our lives.
Right. And we see in this pilot, they are pulled together through a mysterious enemy. Their lives literally cross paths. But do you think that they, besides being good friends, can help each other get unstuck? Do they have those skills that the other is lacking?
Yes, because I think they will call out what the other one needs to do. For Judith, she's very confident. She needs to stop being such a risk taker. For Debbie, she can move people, but she needs to develop her confidence. She needs to understand that she can be the one in front of the podium, in front of the mic, and not whoever she's propping up. And they need to stop being so laser focused on what they believe their goals are. For Debbie, it's like you needed to kind of look around and understand what was happening in your home. And for Judith, it's understanding where she stands with this agency. And they started to get in like a little bit of a fight around that in this first episode. And so I think there's going to be that classic buddy action movie moment where they yell at each other, have a blow up, maybe break up briefly as friends, and then they'll both realize the other was right, that they needed to be more confident, follow the rules, have a protocol, whatever that looks like for their journeys. I think that is on the horizon for both of them.
That makes sense. I can see that. I also want to give a shout out to people in more of the B plot. On Judith's team, she has her handler, Sam, played by Callum Lynch, and her weapon specialist, Queenie, played by Savannah Stein. And I'm really curious what they're up to, because it seems like on this job in particular, Judith's agency or team are watching her a little more closely than they do on previous missions.
Yes, I love that she needs to keep her head on a swivel for the people that she also considers her supports. And I'm not sure yet if their motivation is like pro Judith or they're dangerous for Judith.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's just going to be interesting to watch. And then for Debbie, very curious about what that husband is up to, because she has spent so much time focusing on getting him into this prime minister position, getting these bills passed that he's part of, but not necessarily looking at the man himself. It's clear she's turned this guy into a project. And so I think that's going to be interesting. And again, they're just so funny with each other. At one point, I wrote down this line that Debbie yelled at Judith after they had this very scary encounter. And Debbie goes, "I've been shot at. I've been chased. I drove a vehicle I wasn't insured on." Like, that's the part where her voice went up. That cracked me up.
I get it. That's risky.
Very.
I hope Debbie continues to unwind a bit or take a little more risks with Judith, because she really needs to shift her focus away from her husband. He's bringing her down.
Yes. And she's so charming. Like, yes, it's a weird hobby or very niche hobby to do this antique shopping and to do the things that she's into doing. And it's getting her foot in the door with people. Like, she clearly knows what to say, what to give people to get them interested in her. She kind of lulls them into this sense of comfort before she makes them think that they're doing something that they want to do. But in reality, it's what she's pushing them toward. So that is a skill I don't think she is recognizing is so useful, including in this life or death situation. So that's going to be fun to watch Debbie develop.
So with that, do you want to watch more episodes of Ride or Die on Prime Video?
Absolutely. Y'all know that despite the fact that this was a 54-minute pilot, despite the fact that the story kind of dragged a little bit, you do a female friendship where our leads are pushing 50 and their friendship is going to be challenged. And it's also an action comedy. And you have Hannah Waddingham and Octavia Spencer. They had my photo in the studio. They said, let's actually figure out. Every day they looked at it and they said, let's figure out how to track toward this person's exact interests. And so because this show was designed with me in mind,
right,
I do feel compelled to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say if you are an action comedy person, if you like stories featuring especially women of a certain age, friendships of a certain age, you will like this too, even with such a long pilot. So I plan to watch again seriously. This is going to be like a weekend watch where I'll kind of make it into a movie where it's like, you know, maybe you watch a couple episodes at a time.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense, especially with you being the target audience specifically.
Yeah.
I would.
Audience of one.
Oh, they know their audience, their person.
Yeah. Yes.
Amazing that Amazon invested all that money in you.
Yeah, it's weird, but like, you know, sometimes you are just like you get picked for something.
That's true. I coincidentally enjoyed this as well
Okay.
and would watch again seriously. I like an action comedy. I like when you have a duo of a trained agent type of character and then a civilian type of character who have to work together. I like that they're on the run right now. We got to see how they're going to turn things around. So it has a lot of those story beats that pull me in. And I like your suggestion of watching it kind of close together to give it more of a movie feel.
Yeah, watch it in blocks.
So me too. Let's say me and the listeners want to go antique shopping. What advice can you give us?
I don't have any. I don't know anything about antiques. Now, with that said, I did love watching Antique Roadshow with my mom growing up. So I can sound as though I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know anything. I do love tchotchkes and I love going and running on errands with friends. As you know, like when you're looking at apartments, I love looking at apartments with you.
Yeah.
If my friends need to go shopping, they know I would love to come along and just look at stuff and check out stuff. I love keeping company in that way. So if y'all want to go antique shopping, I'd probably love like looking at everything, but I could not tell you if it's at all valuable.
Okay. So your advice is to reach out to you if you want a shopping buddy.
Like a good hang. Friendship is the best ship.
I guess friendship is the theme of this week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you can hear more about friendship and our opinions on shows on our website, thepilotpodcast.com. And you can follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms.
You can also follow us on Instagram at thepilotpod, and you can send thoughts, feelings, show recommendations, because every other week we do a show recommended by you, our wonderful listeners, to askthepilotpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.